Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today I want to show you a bin that I started about a month ago. I'm going to start giving updates on some of these 10-gallon totes that I do. I do a lot of them in my basement, and I want to start showing you what's going on with them and how they're working, and also as I add food to them. A lot of times I'm sort of adding food, little bits of food to all my bins to try to keep them all going, and I'm going to start adding some more food. I'm going to start grinding it up a little bit more, but I want to bring you along for the ride as I'm doing it. So this is one of those first updates, and I'm going to have these bins labeled by the date that they were started. So this one says, I think, 5/13 that it was started, and today is what? It's almost a month later. It's June 12th, so it's 6/12 today. So let's go take a look at the bin, and I'll show you how I'm keeping track of these as I go forward, and I'm going to bring you along for this ride. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to know of anything that I'm doing, let me know. And of course, I also have links down in the description for some of the items that I have that I'm showing, such as the totes, the gloves, and some of the other items as well. So take a look down there, and please let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, so here's the bin. As you can tell, this is the start date. I wrote 6/12/2020 up here in the corner because that's our first date that we're opening this up to add some more food to it. I'm sure that it needs some by now. Let's just take this off here and take a look at the lid. Lid is kind of dry. This might need a little bit of water inside, but we'll see. So some moisture on the sides, but not a whole lot. As you can see on my glove here, it's a little bit discolored now that I touched it. I had some coffee grounds that I've added. I add these periodically to all my bins when I use coffee grounds at home. I had a compost or a roll in here. Let's just see how this is doing. This really isn't touched all that much. No, there's still food in here. This is definitely banana peel right here that's left over. And there's some other stuff in here. So this might not need a feeding yet. We might get to wait on this one. So let's just see if I can rip this open a little bit more. Looks like there's some sort of, that might be an orange peel maybe in here. Another one. Some other stuff that's kind of soft. No odor from any of this, by the way, just so you know. Not many worms in here, though. Let's just kind of dig around in here and see. I know that I started these bins really quickly a while ago as I was trying to expand my colony, as I had it shrink quite a bit lately over the years. Nice mulch in here at the bottom, or compost. Couple worms in here. Very, very sparsely populated, though, this bin, it looks like so far. Let's just go to this other side here. I'm going to just bury this over here for now. There's one worm. A couple worms over here. Some more coffee grounds. As you can tell, there's a little bit of compaction in the bottom here, and it seems like this paper's floating on top of it. So I think this might need to be stirred up a little bit to kind of get the everything flowing a little bit better. So let's just dig down in here a little bit. This is still nice and loose, though, actually. It's coming right apart, no problem. There we go. There's some worms down here. So it looks like they're all congregated in this area. I wonder if they were sort of eating all the microbes that came down as this would slowly leak down. So there are some worms in here, but not nearly as many as I'd hoped at this point. Sorry there. There we go. So we have some dry coffee grounds over here as well, with some mold on them. Just bury those a little bit. I'm not seeing a whole lot more worms in here. Here's a little tiny one over here. Let's see if I can find them now. Right there. There's a little baby worm right there. So there are some small worms in here. I'm not seeing many cocoons, if any. There are definitely some bigger worms in here too that look like they're mature. I mean, there's a nice big mature one. Right here, this one's nice and mature. So we do have some mature ones in here that'll hopefully grow, and this one looks like it's holding a cocoon inside with how big it is. Just put my hand down here so it actually focuses. Bring it into the light a little bit. But so there's definitely some worms in here. They don't look great though. They look like they're very lethargic, which kind of worries me a little bit. And it does feel a little bit dry in here. So let me just stir this up a little bit more. I think I am going to add some more food. Some food that's sort of more ready to consume than this right here. This looks like this is not moving with the worms. So I think what we need to do is we're going to add some more food. I'm going to bury this sort of in here. We're going to move this around. Let's just kind of mix all this stuff up here. It seems like all the castings in the bottom here might be where the worms are hanging out, and maybe those microbes need to move more into the food areas and kind of spread that around. So, and then what we can do here is we'll build a little pocket in the middle. Clear off my gloves a little bit, and we're going to dump some food in here. Now, the food I have is some of the best food I can get for worms, and that is this stuff that is from my shredder, or my, I should say my juicer. It's very dry, but it's really, really good material to feed to your worms. I've had tremendous luck with this on all my bins, you know, except for maybe 1 or 2 times, but typically this stuff goes very quickly, and really the worms love it because it's ready to eat. It's one of the few times you're putting in really, really ready to eat food. It's been juiced, so there's not a lot of liquid in it. It's very dry, very stringy. Or, you know, for the celery, it's stringy. For the carrots, it's very ground up and fine. And then there's some apple in here too that's been in here. So, and then you can tell, I mean, this is like the core that comes out a lot of times from my juicer, and you can just break these apart, and these are all ready to eat. So we're just going to kind of mix this up a little bit. And then we're going to bury it a little bit because I don't like having this stuff quite on top. I don't want to have issues with bugs. So we're going to bury it maybe from this side over here. And then we'll put this this right here on top. This is one of my coffee filters. And you can tell that a lot of the paper in here still has not really changed color. It's still pretty white as far as the coloring on it. Some of it I can even read. So it definitely needs to stay in here a little bit longer, and hopefully this will help that cause. Now, I think the last thing I might do is add a little bit of moisture. So give me just a second, and let me grab my watering can and put a little bit of water in here. All right, so let's add some water. And we're not going to add a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of squirt this down a little bit. So this is my standard watering bucket as well, or, you know, my sprayer from. Let's see if I can get this in there. Chapin sprayer. So just putting a little bit. We don't want to really load it up. I don't want it to be soaking wet. I just want to make sure everything stays damp enough. You know, it wasn't too bad, but this way it'll just be a little bit more moisture in there. So let me just clean this off a little bit, the glove. And then I think we're ready to shut this down and leave it around for another couple weeks, and then come back to it and see how it's doing and see if the population's up a little bit. So that's my update for this week. As I said, we're going to keep tabs on here of when we open these, and that way you'll know. And I think that we should even label this one. So let's just say it's the 513 bin, but I think I need to put some sort of label on here. So let's say bin 1. So hopefully I did that right, since I'm writing it upside down. But there we go. We're going to keep going with that, and we'll see how this goes and see how this population builds up. Right now it's pretty small. This would be probably even less than what you would get if you were to order worms in the mail that's in this right now. So I just want to show you that you can build up a population from a small amount of worms, and you can do it pretty quickly. I bet there's less than 500 worms in here at this point with the way it looks right now. So we'll come back and continue to work on it and look at this bin and see how it does in the future. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, of course, leave a comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to try to get back to you. Thank you.